Hello everyone, welcome to a tiny break from Elden Ring and Fire Emblem with Tiny Rogues. So this is a roguelite game where you play as like a typical dungeon crawler class, and you crawl through a dungeon, and the goal is to go try and beat death. The class I'm playing right now, I think, is the soldier footman. Great start, but so I guess the basics is increase your stats, get better weapons, go and fight death. You fight a variety of enemies like these little boar guys. Sometimes they have enchantments, like if you step on a certain area of the floor, then you take damage. And if you run out of hearts, you die. It's a one hit per heart, unless otherwise other things come into play. You have bombs, you have keys, like it's Legend of Zelda, and once you get enough traits and attributes and level ups, you can pick different abilities. Um, yeah, as I'm rolling through, really, I don't want. I think I have enough hearts, so I'm not super concerned about like dodging attacks right now. And I picked the enhanced strength scaling, even though it doesn't have a ton of advantage right now. It has the boost from it is going to be better later because there's not necessarily a drawback. So the three attributes are strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Strength is generally your melee damage and hearts. Dexterity is your stamina for effectively dodge rolls, and intelligence is magic and the amount of mana stars that you have if your weapon is applicable. One nice thing that I just use there are the dice. You can actually re-roll certain things, like what rewards you get for clearing your room, and this is the first boss, the Minotaur. As you can probably tell from this post commentary, is that this isn't my first run through the game. I think it's still in I think it's still early access, but it's tons of fun. One of my buddies got it for me and is just super relaxing. The graphics are nice and the controls are really smooth. Um, yeah, first boss down. And yeah, I've just kind of been running randoms at what you see under the little timer is Cinder 4, meaning I have 4 of 16 optional difficulty enhancements on the game. Um, just as a little, because I'm just playing for fun and showing off a little bit. And each different floor has a theme and a couple different bosses that you can run into. Like the first one's just like you're in somebody's basement and there's a Minotaur, and here is the graveyard theme. And generally, a lot of the times when I go for weapons, I like attack speed. Attack speed is generally very good. However, now there is this thing. The thing that's going to carry this entire run. This axe gives you additional strength when you defeat a boss. Now, keep in mind that I already inadvertently grabbed a enhanced strength scaling perk trait, and that further increases the already good strength scaling on this item, and things are going to get pretty crazy by the end of the run. And in addition to just like combat rooms, there are shops where you can spend the gold that you have for various items. Keys are used for chests and stuff, and then there are sometimes event rooms. Let's see, I don't think. Yeah, so top left is there are three hearts. The shields are armor points. You can use health potions and other like collectible hearts to restore your hearts. Armor has to be restored either using repair powder or a blacksmith shop. And sometimes doors are either locked or walled off with gravel, and you have to use a bomb or a key to get through. Bombs can also be used to deal damage to enemies. And yeah, and sometimes rewards are chests, and you need a key in order to open them. The inventory slots are weapon, helmet, torso, boots, accessory, and offhand. Some weapons are two-handed, so you can't use an offhand while it's there, and you have, as you can see on the right, there's a little bit of limited inventory space. Yeah, and then like with the three traits, there are 3 weapon types. As you can see, this axe is kind of just pummeling things, and because we defeated another boss, the axe gets stronger because we get 10 additional strength, which then scales off of the axe's scaling and then off of our trait scaling. I love how I'm trying to explain the game and the run at the same time, and it's probably just, hopefully it's not too confusing, but like it's, I don't know, this game is just like super chill. Runs are like a full run through everything is like generally like 20 to 30 minutes, which is to me really cool because it's nice that you can like go through it and not have it be super crazy in terms of like time investment, because one thing of like Risk of Rain 2, like I love it, but if you start getting into the late stuff and looping, it can be like a 3-hour run. And I would say, yeah, and some of the things you see like the airstrike are because I have it in hand. One of the Cinder options that I have is add more deadly enchantments to the pool, so enemies can have things like airstrikes and batteries that just like launch a bunch of electricity everywhere. And then, like most things, there are status ailments. The red dice are the ones that allow you to reroll room rewards. And then the little gold bar for level is the your progress towards the next trait that you get. And if you get 5 levels, then you get the next trait. Whenever you collect an attribute increasing item, you gain 1 level. Some attribute increasing items increase your attributes by more than 1. And those little red thorns take off half a heart of damage or a full armor piece. And then, yeah, and sometimes enemies can inflict status ailments on you, like poison or curses. And that just required me to pay a heart in order to open it up. And for here, I go with the trait because, again, like there's a little bit of fear missing out if you don't have keys or bombs to get into a room that you really want to get into. Like sometimes it's the tavern or the blacksmith. And here we have Mandrake, who is again getting beamed with an axe. Now, because I've been playing the game, I've unlocked the option to go fight the secret, not so secret, final boss, Megadeth, who is effectively superpowered death. And I get the opportunity to fight him by using a bomb to explode that back wall and go fight a soul pylon, which is a giant crystal. Souls are the currency you spend outside of runs, meaning that if you can use them to unlock new characters and or bonuses that help you in subsequent runs. And yeah, and then there the shield bash, like every few axes, you see a little shield icon come out and it does a lot of damage. And funny enough, these bosses also count towards the axe scaling, so this axe is getting absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know, I don't realize at this point of the run how absolutely ridiculous this axe is getting. Oh yeah, and those little like protein powder things, what they do is if you get a attribute increasing item, then then it increases that attribute by 1 more, and that effect lasts for 10 rooms when you consume them. So basically I'm holding on to them excuse me, I'm holding on to them such that I can maximally use them, like if I'm about to have my dexterity or intelligence increase. Alright, here we are. The pawn shop is mostly just inventory cleanup where you can get rid of older items that you don't want. At the blacksmith, you can also increase your weapon level up to +3 generally, and then there are special requirements to get a +4 weapon. But yeah, we're just having a good time fighting giant zombies, witches, and all sorts of things. Oh, and there is a secret item and that statue requires me to have 15 gold in order to use the item. And the special item, you get it like a special item every run. And the item that I have is a renewable repair powder, which means that I can get my armor points back by using it, and then it comes back later after I clear a certain number of rooms, which is really useful because it's kind of like the health potions, except it's for armor points. And there I just defeated the Belfry Gargoyles and got another ridiculous item, because lightning is really good in this game because not only does it deal damage, for each stack of lightning of the static status effect, up to 3 enemies take 8% more damage, meaning 3 stacks of it, enemies take 24% more damage. And these boots are, whenever on dash, just do a random lightning strike, and for a really high amount of damage, which is great. Yeah, and here we are in the desert. And depending on, like, you can use a bomb to, like, activate 2 things at the same time, like I did there with, like, clearing the thing in the center of the room, and then also opening up a door if you place the radius right. Yeah, and sometimes I just end up pausing to think of, like, alright, what do I want to do? Do I want to spend the armor? Or do I want to use a bomb? Granted, I have 15 bombs, so I'm not entirely concerned, but I think it's because I had the repair powder there. I was like, okay, I can conserve a bomb and then go. Oh, and the little cross next to the skull means I have 1 revive, so if I run out of hearts, I get, like, 3 hearts back. Yeah, and I forget which one it is. I know it's not strength, but one of the attributes increases your critical hit % chance, and then there are items and other abilities that allow you to increase your critical hit modifier to do more damage. And yeah, because it was a little bit ago, I think it was about here that I start to realize that things are starting to get a little bit ridiculous because of how the scaling with this axe works. Alright, and now we are on to the ocean. Now, I don't think it has ever really been, like, showing up here, but okay, I can hit a shift on the keyboard and it can bring up, like, approximate damage numbers for items. So I think there have been times when I might have been checking some comparisons and it doesn't show them on the recording. Oh, yeah, and then yes, there is alcohol in this game. You can consume tipsiness up to the number of hearts you have, and you get a 5% damage boost per tipsiness stack. And then if you try and drink more than the hearts that you have, you take damage. Oh yeah, there it is. Where it's just like, I'm like, oh, this thing does 4,000 damage. And every boss, it is only going up. Yeah, and then also what's really cool that I like about this game is that each weapon has its own like attack style. Like the axes have like a little bit of the curved swing, where swords have more like close range slashes. It's really cool, and there's a lot of variety, and like there's also even a lot of variety like within each weapon class, like the melee weapons, ranged weapons, excuse me, and magic weapons. Oh yeah, the Silver Serpent. Oh, I don't have enough money for the Silver Serpent ring. Because that would be crazy. Because if you just have a lot of souls, then it just keeps adding more and more damage. Oh yeah, and as probably you can tell as this is going on, this is a bullet hell roguelite. So if you as the later you go through it, it goes from. I also like how the scaling goes. It has like this game has like really good scaling of just being like, oh, there are a few enemies, a few projectiles, to the absolute increasing chaos that is the later stages of this game. And that is the second of the third soul pylons defeated or destroyed in order to go fight Megadeth. And then we go to the volcano. Oh, and then depending on what enemies you see in each area, you can know what the final boss of the floor is. In this case, I know that the final boss is going to be a dragon because I saw the little mini dragons. And you can probably do some preparing or something because the enemies do have specific weaknesses, but I kind of just like, oh, this is what I'm fighting, and then I just like run from there. And then as you go, like sometimes enemies have like death attacks where after they die they do like a big AoE. There are some magma dudes on this floor that do it. I'm not sure if I'll point it out when I run into it. And the telegraphing on this is also just nice in terms of stuff. And yeah, and normally I think I take Relentless Assault here, or well, I guess we'll see what I take before yeah, so Relentless Assault normally I don't take because it's just like, oh, for dodging, but because I have the lightning boots and it can kind of be used as an attack, being able to recover the stamina is really nice. And I apologize for the little pause blip there. I just had to step away from the game for a second while I was playing it. But yeah, we're right back into it where it left off. And Purging Stones remove curses. I wasn't cursed, and I was just like, well, I don't want to trade my health for clogged inventory that I'm not using because I'm not cursed. Oh yeah, and then here, since I am doing the keyboard mouse play, like the attacks go in the direction of the mouse cursor, but the shields kind of like auto track, which is really cool about Shield Bash. Like whenever you, there are times when you just don't have to aim and just hold down left click and start winning. That is, that's some good feelings. Yeah, and here I'm just like rolling the dice just to see what to maximize the best reward. And generally, I save red dice for boss rooms because boss rooms give the best and most varied / specific rewards. and you see, as I called from the first room, it was the red dragon, even though I'm doing post commentary, so just take my word for it. Just like they're being purge bishops in the fog of Roston Court. Yeah, and there I made the decision to just go for the attribute because I didn't have all 6 traits yet. But the blood chest, especially if you have like a lot of spare health, gives some potentially very powerful bonuses. And the random consumables, I'm starting to like more and more as I'm playing, because like it could be booze for an attack boost, it could be a purging stone, it could be, well, here it's kind of a little bit redundant because I have the renewing repair powder, but yeah, but still, you can get some nice stuff from those ones for random chance, and also, as much as there is like the dodging and planning element from all of the from all the bullets that are on screen, you can, especially like with stacking attributes and abilities, you can have it be like a little bit of a trading game. Like, not too much of a trading game, but it's not it's not too bad in terms of like a skill requirement. Like I was able to like 100% do like 16 defeat death at 16 cinder, which is the max difficulty. I haven't done the mega death version of that run yet, but it's yeah, it's not too bad in terms of difficulty. Yeah, because as you can see, like with the laser telegraphs and everything else, there's a lot of things are pretty darn straightforward. And as we approach the 9th of 10, oh yeah, and then there's 10 floors. 10 rooms per floor, 10 floors, so clear 100 rooms. And as you saw, like, not every room has monsters, but yeah. My goodness, I've just lost the train of thought as we're approaching the end game. Yeah, now we're going to fight mind flayers, and as you can guess, like, the enemies on each floor grow stronger as you go down. Now I'm just explaining basic roguelites, and then there are I think it's 17 classes that you can use in this game. Yeah, I think it's 17, and each one has different abilities and starting gear. But all the trait rolls are like, the trait rolls depend on whether or not you oh yeah, here I'm just like, wait a minute, this one's a really good weapon. How does it do in comparison? Because it has really good attack speed. And I think yeah, it's not this room, but I'm pretty sure in one of the next rooms I realize how absolutely busted the axe is in comparison. And there, and this guy, if you don't have an item or if you've unlocked everything already, you can just sell a bunch of souls in order to get like a ton of money and to just use the stuff to heal, get some beer from the counter, and effectively just like prep and have a nice time. I'm not super concerned. Know why I was running for the gift boxes and stuff because of the. But yeah, as you can see, this weapon with some minor upgrades and stat boosts is now doing like 10,000 damage a hit, or on some of them. So it's like this axe has gotten absolutely ridiculous in terms of attack power. And someone's probably done it, and someone's probably also done it on a higher difficulty. But as you could get from the title of where I'm going to put in the title, I get to do something absolutely silly and ridiculous. Hitless Megadeth. And you're gonna see the amount of projectiles that are on screen is the number of blunders I've been having in Fire Emblem, which is quite a lot recently. But joking aside, I think it's pretty cool that I finally have like a setup and enough practice to just like go and completely crash everything. And then also the music in this game is great. And here is a trait reroll item where if you destroy all the soul pylons, you can reroll one of your traits and reselect from the pool. And there, I think just because I know that you can take a lot of damage while fighting Megadeth, I just grab block as just like a free hit per room, just because I'm just like, I don't want to take damage. So even though the extra damage from that is, the extra damage potential from the trait that I had, I was just like, I don't want to get hit ever. Oh yeah, and then there are potions. Potions allow you to have like temporary boosts for a number of rooms, so in this case like 10 rooms. So here I kind of just spam drink them because I know that I'm at the end game. I can just get all of them, and I can just drink all the potions I want because they'll last through the final boss, and then the tavern is just a free room. And resins, there are 3 types of resins that aren't the special ones, and they can add fire, frost, or lightning damage to your weapon. And here is Megadeth. I will just let you watch the insanity of this fight. Hitless Megadeth at Cinder 4. There you go. Granted, I know I've got some good RNG cycles, but this axe absolutely carried through damage. So jokingly, I was able to out-damage death. Alright, well, I guess thank you all for watching. If you like this, please let me know, because I can do like a cycle through all the Tiny Rogues heroes. So have a great day, y'all, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!